What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I want to give you guys a very important warning about the market for Tesla, SPY, Nvda, and a couple of other tickers. But let me first say that I am not a financial planner. Take nothing I say as financial advice. And then don't forget about the Webull link. The offer ends very soon. Deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks. If you deposit $25,000 or more, you're guaranteed 75 of them. Anyways, for the market right now, we're seeing some weakness because we're getting some more divisions and more tensions between Israel and Iran that's still continuing to affect the markets. I was hoping that the market would attempt to bounce, and the market did try at least earlier on, but the move ended up failing because of everything that's going on. So, as a reminder, on our economic calendar at 11:30 a.m. we have the 17-week bill auction. At 1 p.m. we have the 20-year bond auction, and at 2 p.m. we have the Fed Page Book coming out. And then there was also news that came out about the Iranian president. He said that the tiniest invasion by Israel will be met with a massive, massive response. That's very, very important. So, with that being said, with him saying that very, very recently, the market is still underperforming as results, and we failed to bounce so far. So, we're going to be watching to see how we react from here. Looking at some stocks out there, I think it's very important for us to try to be unbiased when doing so. Tesla is currently barely at 154 a share. We're barely holding that support at 153.8 to 154. If we lose that support, 152 is coming next. And if that fails us, we're easily falling to 150. And then, we're going to fill our gap if we lose that. There's a gap to fill on Tesla all the way down to the 144 area. So far, Tesla's looking pretty weak. I said that the market could see more downside, but before that happens, we could see an attempt to bounce. So far, the market's kind of failed to get that bounce. So we'll just have to see how things look from here. Tesla's holding the support, but there is a risk of it dipping lower as we're just barely holding on, and we have to be very careful about how this is looking. On SPY, we have resistance currently at 504.5 to 505. We're barely trying to hold around 503.8. If we lose that, we could easily fall to about 503, then 502.5. We're showing some weakness right now, and we're still in this range. So we have 506, as our resistance zone. We have support at 503.5 to 502.5, but we're showing a little bit of weakness. It could dip a little bit more, so just be careful. I want to give you guys a warning about SPY so far, and we'll see how well it holds from here. But I just want to warn everyone to be very, very mindful of this, that the overall situation around the world is still kind of negative and still having a negative effect on the way the stocks are moving. Onto the QQQ is the same thing. We were trying to rebound and we failed to break past the 433s. We have resistance at 434 and then 436 above that. Because we failed, we have 430 as our support, and if we're losing this, we have 429 coming next, followed by 427. We're looking a bit more bearish right now, so I see a risk of this dipping. QQQ is barely holding on. If we lose 429, there's going to be a risk of it coming down to fill its gap at 425. We'll have to see how well it holds, though. It's barely at support near 429 to 430, so we'll see how that does. Also for SPY, let me mention one more thing. SPY has a gap to fill at 497. If we lose 502.5, and then we have 500 next, and if that fails us, we're easily filling that gap. Right now, SPY is showing a little bit of weakness. We're barely holding on to the 503.8 area, but there is a risk of some downside. So just be careful. On to Aapl. Apple's showing a little bit of strength compared to the market. It's barely at 170.2 right now. But if it fails and rejects here, we could be looking for 169 and lower levels. So just be careful. I just wanted to give you guys a warning about that. And then simultaneously, we also have Nvda is showing some weakness compared to Aapl. We tried to break out towards 892 and that move ended up failing, so we're continuing to show some weakness. We're approaching 862 as our support. If we lose this, 853 is next. Nvda is showing weakness alongside the overall market, and so far that's how the trend has been. Now, Amazon is still holding above 183. We tried to break out to 185 and we failed. So look at support currently at 183. If we lose this, we could be looking at 182, then eventually 180 if that fails. Meta is barely at support at 497. I was hoping that this would break out a little higher to about 507 first. We went up to about 505 and failed, so it's a little bit weak. Now we're barely holding 496. If we lose this, a bigger dip is coming. So we're seeing some tech stocks kind of showing some weakness. SPY is continuing to fall, so is Tesla. Tesla's barely under 155, so just be careful with it and just know that there is still that risk for more downside. We'll see how well SPY holds at 503, not to mention 502.5. That's going to be key for the share price, at least for now. With that being said, I want to thank you all so much for listening. I want to make this video lightning fast and get this out there as fast as possible, just to give you guys as much information, as many benefits as possible. So have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys very soon, just a couple of hours. This is going to be a very quick update. Take care and just know that the market is still at risk. All right. Thanks again and peace out.